Hi there, Susan here. I'm a new weaver, and there are lots of things that I've been learning that I thought maybe other new weavers might find helpful. And in this video I was going to talk about how I have used starch to secure the hems in my towels so that when I cut them apart they're not going to unravel, and the starch is just going to wash out when I do my first wet finishing. I wish I could remember where I got this idea from, but I found it on a Facebook group. And my first thought was to use spray starch because that's what I'm used to using, but I remembered that there actually is liquid starch. Now, I didn't want to go to the store and buy a gallon of liquid starch, so I found online that you can make your own, and there's lots of different recipes for making your own spray starch from corn starch. And you can adjust this to make it thicker or thinner, whatever works for you. Here's some starch that I have mixed up, and I just have been keeping it in this little jar. You can heat it up in the microwave. If it gets too thick, add more water, whatever you need. But I thought that I would want it thick enough that it wasn't going to drip all over my loom, but not so thick that I couldn't brush it into the fiber. And so the way to make it is 2 cups of water, and I'm going to put most of this into my little pan, reserving a little bit here. And I could go ahead and put my pan on the stove to start heating, because you're going to heat this up to get it into solution. A tablespoon of cornstarch, and if you mix it up with in the water, just a little bit, it helps to kind of keep the lumps out. And then once you have this all nicely mixed, then you're going to add it to your pan of heating water. Bring it to a boil, let it boil for 1 minute, and then pour it into whatever container you want. Let it cool down, and you're ready to starch your garment. So that's all there is to it. Now, I did find a number of different recipes online. One of them was kind of interesting, using vodka, but I didn't have any vodka sitting around, and water's a lot less expensive than vodka. But so that's all there is to making your starch. And now let's go put some on some towels. Back again. All right, so here I have 2 towels. One that's finished up, I'm just getting ready to start the next one. And I have them separated by a vinyl mini blind slat. And here I have my starch, and I have a little foam brush that I've been using to apply the starch. And all I do is just take this and brush it into the edges. And I want to kind of saturate it. If the starch is too wet, you might run a chance of it dripping. If it's too thick, it might not penetrate, and you can kind of experiment. But it doesn't take very long to just kind of brush it along there. And saturate your fabric. And you do want to make sure that this is dry before you roll on any farther. And I try and kind of time this so that I want to take a break and let this dry. Or if I'm in a hurry, I just get the hairdryer out and dry it with the hairdryer. But that's really all there is to it. And so far it seems like it's working pretty good. So... And just so you can see, these are some towels that I've taken off the loom, and you can see it's pretty stiff there. It's not really going anyplace. Here's one that I've cut, And if I messed around with it, it would start to unravel. But that should hold it in place until I get it turned and get my hems in there. The other thing is, I don't know for sure how long this is going to last. You can store it in your refrigerator. I've just had mine on my countertop, but it's winter and it's been fairly cool here. So that's all there is to it, using starch to hold your hems in place.